Political segment, Texas Face Off. Joining us this morning is Sam Robles. He's the Advocacy Director for Progress Texas, and Matt McCoviak, Chairman of the Travis County Republican Party. Good morning to you both.
Morning.
Morning. So let's chat a little bit about Governor Greg Abbott. So on Sunday, he took to Twitter to talk about the City of Austin's decision to ease up on its ordinances related to the homeless. They will now allow panhandling as long as it's not aggressive, and allow people to sit, lie, and camp in public streets as long as they're not blocking the pathway for other people to pass. The governor saying that if this is in fact what happens, people are allowed to camp on the streets, that this is something that lawmakers will overturn in the next section and try to fix that ordinance. Matt, what are your thoughts on his comments?
Well, my thoughts are that the city's going in the wrong direction on yet another issue. I don't know why we would want to emulate the policies of failed cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco, where the homeless population is a real problem. I'm sensitive and compassionate to that community. In many cases, there are mental health issues, there are drug addiction issues. We need to get people, transition them from homelessness to work so they can become self-sufficient. Letting them camp in downtown is not how you do that. Downtown is hugely important to the Austin economy. It provides the tax base that helps fund the arts, and so we don't want downtown to be an area of the city where women in particular feel like they can't go down there without being harassed. So to me, and I would just add, the law enforcement community in Austin opposes these changes as well. So I don't doubt that Greg Abbott and the people that were pushing this are doing it from a compassionate place. The question is this the right policy? And so I was pleased to see the governor say that he would look to overturn this in the next legislative session. Of course, that's a year and a half away, and we're going to have to deal with this in Austin. It's another example, I think, of the city making a decision that has unintended consequences that's bad, not just for the future of the city, but for taxpayers as well.
Yeah. Sam, how would you defend this decision?
Well, I think this also, as we're seeing Governor Abbott respond to this ordinance, it really falls in line to the tone he's been playing throughout the last 6 months, whether it's paid sick days or local health care clinics like Planned Parenthood. Governor Abbott wants to be the mayor of Texas, and yet we elected public officials to be able to make these decisions. And this ordinance isn't just something that was passed. It was city council members working with community organizations to address a need of something that was happening to folks in our community. And so we continue to see state lawmakers want to play this role, yet Abbott had 6 months to do something about this. We continue to be a state that has low mental health access and spending, and we don't have access to health care. And so as we're thinking about ways to be compassionate to folks who are homelessness, it also has to come with solutions from our state leaders.
Yeah, you know, it always seems like there is this battle between the Capitol and the city of Austin. They have, lawmakers have undone Austin's tree ordinance, the TNC, so the ride-hailing rules that the city of Austin put into place, being a sanctuary city. You know, do you feel like, why is this just part of the problem of being the blueberry and the tomato soup for Austin?
You know, I don't think that will be the case any longer. We're seeing more cities like Houston and Dallas come on with a diverse city council, and so I think these issues will continue to arise outside of Austin.
Matt, what do you say to that? Do you think that's the case, or do you think Austin, you know, from a conservative standpoint, continues to do things opposite of what Texas lawmakers want?
Yeah, look, I mean, I often say the great thing about Austin is its proximity to Texas. I mean, it's a joke, it's a kind of a joking line, but, you know, I don't think the city of Austin cares about taxpayers. I think we've seen that time and time again. It's why we have the affordability crisis that we have. It's why we have the transportation and infrastructure crisis that we have. City government is simply totally not up to the task. And so the state isn't here to pass the City of Austin's homeless program, but they are here in the right circumstance, if they have a majority in the House and the Senate and the governor's support, to preempt something the city is doing and to make an issue that the state can look at. And so it's done on a case-by-case basis. The standards should be high. I agree they shouldn't be setting city policies, and they're not. But when it comes to ride sharing, it's ridiculous that when the city of Austin passed that regulation, you could take an Uber from Austin to Westlake, but not from Westlake to Austin. That makes no sense. The fracking ban, you know, people didn't have access to the royalties under their own land because of the fracking bans that were being passed. So I think it depends on the issue. In this case, I think the governor understands the importance of Austin to the state of Texas, to the economic engine that Texas is, And turning downtown Austin into downtown San Francisco is a terrible idea for the future of Texas. More panhandling doesn't help homeless people. Letting them camp on streets in downtown Austin doesn't help homeless people. It ensures they're going to remain homeless for years or for decades. We have to get them out of that system, get them into mental health, as she said, get them off drugs and alcohol if they're onto them, and get them to a place where they can become self-sufficient. That has to be the goal.
All right, well, we'll see how that all plays out. The other thing we want to talk about tomorrow is going to be a big day for Democrats. It's the first of two DNC debates. Sam, what are you going to be watching?
You know, I'm really excited to go into tomorrow. I couldn't be more proud to be a Democrat. This is the first time we have such a diverse candidate pool, not only in race and gender, but in ideology. And as a party, we're having some really amazing conversations when it has to do how are we going to tackle student debt? How are we tackling healthcare? And so what we're watching tomorrow is making sure, you know, there's going to be a lot of amazing candidates with great records, but who has a plan? And who has a plan to address the issues that Texans are really feeling when it comes to healthcare and economic stability?
You know, we might imagine, Matt, that Democrats are going to be paying more attention to tomorrow and Thursday than Republicans, but Republicans are going to be watching this too, right?
Yeah, some of them will. I mean, I'll say selfishly, on Thursday night we're having our Reagan Gala for the Travis County GOP, so Republicans will be gathered at that large event in downtown Austin. But sure, some Republicans will watch. They're going to want to see what these candidates are saying, how they're attacking our president, what they're saying about the economy. You know, it's going to be hard for them to attack the economy. We have record low unemployment, wages rising, private sector hiring is up. You know, there's a lot of positives there. So, look, it's going to be an expensive night for taxpayers. The same problems we have ideologically in Austin are I think, the problems the Democratic Party is going through. All these plans the Democratic candidates are putting forward are massively expensive. I mean, you're talking about trillions of dollars at a time we're running $1 trillion deficits and have a $22 trillion national debt. So we'll see what happens. We'll see whether the top 5 candidates, anything changes in terms of the top 5. But we're at the very beginning of the Democratic primary process, and it's going to take probably a year for them to nominate their candidate.
All right, it will be interesting. We'll all be watching. If you guys missed any of this interview, you will be able to catch up on it. It'll be uploaded to KVUE.com after the newscast. We'll be right back.